Hello, hi, this is Samir. Um, I I wanted to create something like a platform or somewhere that I felt like I needed or wanted to vent or rant about certain things that is happening. So I thought that I would want to create a video because sometimes what I wanted to write could not really capture what I am feeling inside. So not to take this too dramatic, but I do believe everyone should have a platform that they can express themselves and basically express their opinions in a very respectful way. Everybody has a right to express their opinions using proper means, of course, and hopefully not hurting anyone in doing so. And before I begin, a huge disclaimer. What I want to share, if it is offensive or if you feel offended by what I am saying, I am truly sorry, but it's not my intention. I did not go on or record this to offend anybody. I just wanted to get things off my chest. Okay, bringing us back to the topic that what I wanted to vent or rant about today. Okay, today I wanted to rant about the United Airline debacle. Debacle? Is that how you pronounce it? Debacle. So anyway, the fiasco, the United Airline fiasco. So I'm sure a lot of you is already very familiar with what happened with United Airline and what actually transpired and how it has gone viral and everything. So to those who have not yet been familiar with what happened, let me fill you in. Okay, there's 2 points that I wanted to bring here before I actually talk about the incident that actually happened. One, I did not know this. I'm sure I'm not from the airline industry, so whoever out there who is from the airline industry, I'm sure you guys have much more information than me and is able to answer all these questions that I have in my mind. Firstly, I did not know that it was a common fact or a common practice for flights or airlines to overbook their flight. So that is actually what happened. This particular incident of United Airline, it was an overbooked flight. Okay, that's one. So apparently flights are usually always overbooked in order to make up for any no-shows or any emergency or anything like that. I don't know, I'm not sure, and maybe some of you could answer that question. So one, this is leading up to the incident. One, it was an overbooked flight. All right. Two, somewhere in your flight ticket, in the fine prints, that you have to read your flight ticket. Sorry, this is broken. In your fine print, I mean, in the things that is written behind your ticket, it says that flights or airlines can take you off your flight, your paid flight. They can take you off that flight at any given time that they need to. It's their right. They can do that. Again, the second point, I did not know this. So I guess this is a learning experience for me as well, because I didn't know that they could actually, but basically I understand, the whole thing. It's not really like a selling point, for airlines to go around telling people like, hey, I can bump you off my flight anytime I want to. So it's not really a good thing for their image. So I understand the fact why it's not really, you know, properly communicated. Or maybe it is properly communicated, and maybe because I'm just, you know, maybe I never noticed that. But anyway, coming back to the fact of what happened. So this particular flight, a United Airlines flight, was flying from Chicago. See, I read things. From Chicago to Louisville or however you pronounce it, somewhere. So this particular flight was from Chicago to, okay, United Airlines. This is not like a, is it an, I guess it's a huge, I'm not very familiar with this airline because it's not an, it's basically, obviously it's not a Malaysian airline, it's an American airline. So basically it's a domestic flight. And during this particular flight, it was an overbooked flight. And on that particular day, United Airlines had to make room for three of their employees to get on that particular flight on that day. So in order for them to make room for their employees, they had to bump out or take off 3 passengers, existing people already on board, already boarded the flight. They had to take them out from the flight. Okay, taking people out of the flight, you know, paid passengers out of there. I read it also somewhere, you know, because I believe everything that I read over the internet. No, I'm just kidding. I don't believe everything that I read. But apparently this is a legal policy. It is their right that they can do this. And apparently, there's certain criterias that they look for when they are looking for random passengers to take off from their flight. So I do not know what the criterias are. Again, maybe those who are from the airline industry, you know much more better on all these things and might be able to answer the questions that are my little blur thing is going on in my mind, because I don't know what the criterias are, but basically it is at random. So they pick at random these people, and secondly, they are usually compensated. So they are usually, you know, if they choose you, so basically the airline will offer you some kind of compensation or reward. And I read somewhere that it can go up to 400% the price of your flight ticket. So yeah, not bad, money. But getting off, you know, getting forcefully off your flight is probably, you know, not the best thing that could happen to you, because, you know, you might have plans the next day and blah blah blah. So apparently for this particular, bringing back to the incident for this particular flight, they have chosen 3 people. Correct me if I'm wrong. They chosen 3 people at random. I volunteer as tribute. Sorry, lame joke. Chose these 3 people, offered them money. I'm not sure what kind of sum of money that they offered him. So 2 went off quietly after being chosen. And the 3rd person, which I'm going to bring you in now to the story. The 3rd person that was chosen was Dr. Dao. He is now a household name because of this incident. So Dr. Dao was adamant. He did not want to go. He refused to get off the flight. All right. I saw some clips. You know, he was on the phone with United Airlines, telling them that he needed to be on the flight. He had to go somewhere the next day, and he needed to be there for work and things like that. So he refused. He did not want to get off the flight. And what happened after that? You've got to see the clips. You know, I think there were like 2 or 3, you know, big-sized security officers or airport security or something like that. I've never seen these people in any of my experience of flying, but probably because I don't fly much, because I have a phobia of flying. I love to travel, but I hate the flights. So anyway, these people were like trying to forcefully take him out from his seat, and he was struggling. And then there's some, you know, struggling ensued, and then from the clip, he looked like he was attacked or harassed or some kind of another, and then they were struggling and everything. And during the clip, it was quite horrific. After a few minutes of fighting them off, he actually, I think at one, I don't know whether he hit his head or something. He fell and then he was unconscious, and these security officers were literally dragging him on the floor, of that particular, on the aisle of the plane. And then he got up, I think at one point, and he was holding on to the door of the flight, and he was bleeding from his face. And this was all captured, and it's now viral, and it's all in the news and everything, and it was so graphic, and it's really, really horrifying. I can't imagine something like that happened to my dad or my brother. It was really bad. I was traumatized. It was oh my god. And he was saying no, I'm not going, but he eventually, they overpowered him, because he's pretty old. He's a pretty old dude. He was 60 plus or something, and they eventually overpowered him. But the following days that ensued, it became a huge thing. It went viral everywhere across the world, and and in the news and everything. And United Airlines really took a huge hit because of that. All right, it is a PR night. I mean, what happened to Dr. Dow was really already very bad, but United Airlines was taking a huge hit because of that as well. And I was oh my god. The following days that ensued, people were furious about what happened, and then I think somebody was trying to launch this smear campaign against Dr. Dow by bringing up his past and everything. But putting all that aside, a majority of people were very furious, and me included. I mean, that was a horrific thing to see and to have had to happen. And bringing me to the question of, first, the whole thing happened because United Airlines was overbooked and had to make room for their employees. I mean, what was so important for these employees of United Airlines to be on that particular flight on that particular time? Was it the last flight? Couldn't they have just boarded another flight? Because these people were already inside the flight. They were already buckled in. Probably the steward and stewardess were already telling about the safety procedures and everything. They are already set to fly. Why couldn't this have been communicated before these people got on the plane? Maybe that could have been handled better, before this whole thing. While we were waiting to board the plane, why wasn't United Airline, why wasn't the passengers informed way before? Maybe that could have helped them. What was so important for the employees to get on that particular flight on that particular day? What was it? I want to know what caused Dr. Dow injuries. What happened? What were the events that led up to the incident? I want to know what. Because if it's just a cocktail thing happening, like a chit chat thing or a town hall meeting or something, why am I talking like this? That could have, those employees need not be on that flight. It ain't that important for you to be on that flight. So I want to know what happened. Okay, no, seriously. And then they could have informed these people much earlier before they boarded the flight, So maybe that could have been done to actually, maybe I could have avoided all this thing from happening, things that things could have been handled better, I guess. But after that, after the whole incident happened, apparently the United Airlines CEO, I forgot his name, he apologized for whatever that has happened, and said that it was not a proper thing for them to do. They didn't have that right. they shouldn't have done it to Mr. Dow and blah 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 whatever. But at the same time, he also sent an email out to all his staff saying that, you know, praising them for upholding their policies and, you know, did the good job, and, you know, patting them on the back, you know, you did well. Ooh. So which one is it, Mr. CEO of United Airlines? Which one is it? Are you like sorry that it happened, or are you like praising your staff, or what which one is which now? Okay, what are you trying to say? So I know the United Airlines have taken a hit, a huge blow, and there's a lot more, you know, scandals and controversies surrounding them. I mean, while I was reading all these things, so it could have been handled better. I am so horrified about, you know, a lot of people around the world were horrified as well, you know. It was like, I'm now hella scared of getting on flights now. I'm like, should we all start reading our fine prints, you know, everything that is written on there, the small wording, you know. I'm just like, wow, traumatized. So I heard that Dr. Dow was going to sue the airline, so we shall, I know I'm gonna keep following the news and what is, you know, going to happen after this. But, you know, in terms of us as a consumer, as a passenger or a customer, we should really, you know, find out about our rights. What are our rights, you know. And I know it's not easy. It's like, you know, things should be easy for us, but things are not that easy or straightforward for us as a customer. So just, you know, try to stay safe, stay well informed. Hopefully nothing like this ever happens to anyone, and hopefully, you know, our travels are blessed and our travels are safe. And I don't know, I'm just gonna follow the story, see what happens. And yep, that is all my ranting for today. Hopefully maybe we can have some more time soon for other things and